was just too beautiful. I had to film it. I had to capture it. It's only like 5 a.m. and the sun just... If you're like super quiet, you can kind of hear the birds chirping outside. Do you see that? Do you see that sun? The light kind of woke me up and I had to stop to film it because it was so beautiful. I'll probably go back to sleep because it's only 5 a.m. and it's not usually when I wake up. But yeah, I just wanted to stop and film it. You can see my fan in the back over there. Wait. I can't seem to sleep without it these days because it's so hot even at night. Finished breast and eggs and now I'm on to a little Annie or No, Getting Lost, and I read about this much, so not a lot. We're getting into it slowly. Seeing as I'm up already, I think maybe I'll read a few pages and then go back to sleep if I'm feeling tired. Again, I will reiterate that I do not wake up at this hour. I am not up this early, ever.
It would be light, ceiling made of glass, counter space, an ashtray for when grandma comes to visit me, space to think, green apples.
Morning. I did end up sleeping in a little bit more because let's face it, that is not my usual waking hours. And now the sun is nowhere in sight and the forecast is not looking too great. It's supposed to be raining every single day next week. So the sun earlier, that was my last glimpse of the sun for the foreseeable future. I'm gonna try and prepare myself some lunch, but I think I might want to brew a coffee first because I need that in me right now. Oops, making a mess over here. Sorry I've been so AWOL this past month. I just think I needed some time, or rather a break, to myself. Just to think about, you know, life. I haven't found any answers yet, by the way, but I think I've accepted the fact that I don't have any answers. So for the time being, feeling better, feeling back on my feet. I sort of spiraled for the past couple of weeks, so I haven't been that present on my YouTube during that time, but I have been somewhat active on my Instagram and social media. For someone with posting anxiety, being active on Instagram is actually pretty terrifying, so I think that may have had an influence on my spiraling. It may have been a direct result of it. Yeah. I tried replacing that anxiety with gratitude because obviously I should be and am very grateful that I get to have these amazing opportunities and that I get to share what are supposed to be very happy moments in my life, but don't know why, but I felt very anxious and guilty almost for posting things like that. And thank you so much for all your sweet comments, by the way, in my last vlog. I wasn't thinking of a reaction really when I started saying all those things about me feeling unmotivated, but yeah, it restored my faith in humanity again. I can't believe all of you are so nice and so sweet. Mug made by yours truly. Kind of want to get back into making tableware, especially mugs and cups, because I just use them so often because I'm a coffee addict. Maybe that can be a summer activity for this year, making more mugs. Oh, look, the sun's back out. But I don't think it's gonna be here for long. Yep, see, it's already starting to fade a little bit. Preparing some tofu to air fry. Just gonna pop these in the oven. These look criminal, by the way, but I promise it'll taste good. With some veggies. And I just added some sriracha sauce on top and eating on the floor because I can while doing some monthly journaling. Getting started on my July prompts. During my days of spiraling, I did some journaling and I started a new prompt, which is to list all my favorite things or things that brought me joy. And while I was listing all those things, I came to realize that my list wasn't that long, but not because there weren't enough things to list. I think it was just me being out of practice at recalling happy or joyous moments, things. Some of the items on that list are very, very trivial things. For example, this month I've been reusing my little museum passes as bookmarks, you know, just to have it as a keepsake. And it actually brings a smile to my face whenever I open a book to read, and I think maybe that's why I've been so good at reading this month. That tiny detail of just opening the book and seeing a memory in front of my eyes. I don't know, it made me really happy. So hot tip for sentimental girlies and boys who love art, try using your museum ticket as a bookmark. Guys, but this pillow talk is actually super old. I don't think it's all that safe to use anymore, but it's fine. It'll be fine. I mean, what's the worst that could happen from using old lipstick? Currently listening to my summer 24 playlist. Of course, it has Gracie in it. I'll link it down in my description box if anyone wants it. I decided not to name my playlist Sad Girl Summer like I did last year because it just felt like I was manifesting a sad summer, which, I mean, I'm all for embracing and accepting sadness, but not really manifesting it. I don't think that's a good idea, honestly. Yeah, I will still be adding to it though, because, you know, a playlist is never done and a playlist should be open to growth, open to change. I was thinking of making an open Spotify playlist so that you guys could add to it. I think that'd be fun. Comment down below if you want that. I'd love to know what everyone's favorite summer music is.